It's cool to be here. It's cool to see so many beautiful black people here. What I see here is a land of opportunity, and I'm not just saying that. It's truly the beginning of something that's going to be great.
All right, our first speaker is Mr. Nasar.
But yeah, I'm Nasar Arabi, born and raised in New Jersey in the States. Also, I'm currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're actually both in the same state. And yeah, so basically I'm a real estate investor, and I've been involved in this business since I've been, well, I wanted to be a real estate investor since I was 19. I'm currently 38. I bought my first house at 24. And I just wanted to speak to you guys because the trends I see in Charlotte, when I first got there in 2008, and Charlotte is a city in North Carolina, the trends I see there are currently happening here. And it's going to be a great wealth transfer, and I just want to expose you all to get it. Because unfortunately, back in the States, I live in a city where people all over the nation move there because it's a major city in the country. The people who actually live there didn't take advantage of all the opportunity there. And I don't think that should repeat itself here. Since you guys are already here, you guys need to control the wealth. You guys need to have a seat at the table. How do you get a seat at the table? You have to own to get a seat at the table. And you guys need to set yourself up into position to do that. So I think I'm going into my topic. If that's what's happening now?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right, I'm going into my topic. All right, so the way you can do that, right? So in America, we have something called the credit system. You guys don't really have that here.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
We're getting there.
You're getting there, but you don't have it yet. So I've heard the prices of some of these houses, and it's outrageous. So, you know, there is a big misconception in America that Africa is all huts and, you know, the kids with the flies around their head, and that's not true. We know that. I posted on my social media, I have got so many DMs of people just amazed, and so many Africans saying, yes, please show more how beautiful this country is. So in America, like this towel, that goes in my house, and y'all park on that, you know, which is a big, it's a big difference, you know, it's a big difference. I wasn't ready for that, but that's, you know, what I do. And, you know, Gus, he took us to some houses where they had 2 kitchens. In America, the richest had 1 kitchen. You know, I felt pretty poor. And, you know, I'm in the top 1% in America. And from what I'm seeing over here, I'm like, yo, I gotta do this in my houses in America because this is just amazing. And, but anyway, but how do you get to that point, right? Like, some of these houses are $150,000, $400,000 US cash. So how do you get to that point? You have to do transactions. And when I first got started on real estate in Charlotte, I was broke. I was in a call center job, started out making $10 an hour, which is pretty poor in America. You know, so I was in a call center job, and the way I built my money up is I would have to basically middleman sales of houses, okay? Here it would be more like selling of houses to get your income up, and then you save that money. One thing about y'all are very good at saving money. You don't have a choice. Because when you guys sign a lease, y'all got to pay out 1 year, 2 year. In America, us poor people, we have to pay monthly. You know what I mean? So it's much easier to get by in America than it is here. But you have to use those things to your benefit of saving money. So what you would do is, you would link up with my man Gus, who has a brokerage and, you know, currently looking for more salespeople. You will actually go out there and sell houses. And then you will save money. And by selling houses, let's say you sell like social media. One thing I learned from him, even though I was on YouTube first, I was on YouTube 2012, it gave me exposure. But with him, it gave him worldwide exposure because he took it to the next level. And so when we linked up, that's when I started to take it more seriously. And you guys can leverage your social media into wealth by showing the rest of the world what Accra is. Am I pronouncing that right?
Accra.
Accra. I'm sorry.
You got it.
I'm sorry. Please excuse me. But an Accra is. So I really think this is going to be a very prestigious destination, not only for living, but traveling, just like Dubai is. But that's not going to happen without the help of you all showing the beauty of Africa and what it has to offer. So, for example, right, and I'm going to pull these numbers straight out the air. Let's say you sell $500,000 houses a year, right? You sell $500,000 houses a year, and let's say you're able to save, you know, $30,000 off of that. Well, now you have $30,000 you didn't have before. This is exactly what I did in America, and I can see that it can be duplicated here, just in a different way. But now you can get into bigger transactions. And when I say bigger transactions, let's say you find somebody that, hey, I'm selling my house for $200,000. They're having a hard time selling it because it needs work. Well, what you can do is say, well, look, what if I were to put down $10,000 and in 1 year the rest is due? Now this might sound crazy, but I literally done this type of stuff in America, and I was talking to Gus, and it can be done here. So the house is $200,000. You give the owner $10,000, right? So the owner basically is making you a loan that's due in 12 months. In the meantime, let's say within 2 to 3 months, you fix the house up and sell it. So now you put $15,000 into the house. So now that $200,000 house is worth, let's say, $275,000. So you then make the $75,000 spread, of course, minus the repairs and the commissions, the real estate commissions, you take out of that. But you do that 3 and 5 times until you're in the game and you're in the position to own. And making money, like we both have 7-figure businesses, but making money is good, but owning is best. Don't get caught up in just, hey, I got a big check this month. You know, you definitely want to own. It's extremely important to own here because the way that Accra is going, the appreciation is there, and I see it. Because I've been to cities in America, and Charlotte specifically, whereas the low-income neighborhood, which we call the hood in America, I don't know what you guys call it, but...
Zongo. We call it Zongo.
Okay, the Zongo. Okay, all right. That sounds rough. But, yeah, I don't want to go to the Zongo. Okay, so let's say the Zongo, right? Where I live at, when I first got to Charlotte, you can go to the Zongo and buy houses for $20,000, $30,000 all day. However, what happened was these places were close to main attractions, downtown, and things of that nature. Now you fast forward, those same neighborhoods that were $20,000 and $30,000, the houses are now going for $700,000 and $800,000. The dirt is going for $250,000 US. And things of that nature, so it becomes very expensive. But you guys must have vision so that you can see that, you know? And like, again, don't get caught up in the transactions of making money. I know making $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 a month, it sounds good, and it definitely feels good, and you're gonna beat on your chest the first few times that you do it, but you wanna position yourself to ownership. So just to recap what I was saying, you wanna start doing transactions, right? How do you do these transactions? You link up to Gus and see how can you help out his brokerage. You know, what can you do? What role can you play to basically be a salesperson, to sell a few houses, save money? You don't have to do this full time. You can start out part time. I started out with a job. And you start out, you sell a few houses, you leverage your social media. You use hashtags, Accra real estate, Ghana real estate, Africa real estate. The rest of the world needs to see this. There's a lot of outside money coming in, and you guys need to have a piece of that, right? You should make sure you position yourself to have a piece of that. So with that being said, from doing these transactions and saving this money, and let's say you do this for 2 or 3 years, you know, now you're in a position to own. And now you're getting the rent payments and things of that nature, because you definitely want to own here. Gus was showing us dirt because we're looking into investing here, and the prices of y'all dirt is insane. But the advantage that you guys have over me and him, you guys are here. You guys know that you can find the, what's the name of the place? No, the hood. What do you call it? You go to the Zungo, you know, you can get the stuff for cheap and hold on to it, because eventually what's going to happen is, yes, these are the nice areas. However, Accra is going to expand and continue to build out and build out and build out. I've seen this in America over and over and over. And once it continues to build out and build out, your land that you might have gotten for $3,000 to $5,000, now you're getting offers on $200,000 US and things of that nature. Now you're in a position whereas, do I want to build it and keep it myself, or do I want to sell it and just move on? You have the knowledge so that you can rinse and repeat. But it all starts with the first step, right? And I just want to give out actionable steps. I love to see black people succeed.
Woohoo!
I don't.
Me too.
Yes, I don't know about, you know, here, but in America we have racism, classism, sexism, and, you know, just, we don't like you blacks, whatever, however y'all classify that. And so we have a lot going against us, and we still have to manage to be, you know, become successful and help one another. And just being here is just beautiful. But just to recap everything I said, I want you guys to get with Gus, see how you can assist his brokerage, and I want you to do transactions to actually sell houses. And from selling houses, you save that money into doing creative things with some of these owners. We drove around neighborhoods with houses that are just sitting there in disrepair. You know, my man Max is going to put together a system, whereas hopefully you can track those homeowners to ask them, hey, look, this house is sitting here, how much do you want to sell it for? Well, look, this is what I can do for you. I can put down $5,000 to $10,000, and 12 months or 24 months, the rest is due, you know, and once you sell the house, you pocket the difference. And if you guys have any questions about this, you can talk to me after. You pocket the difference, and you do that 3 and 5 times. You know, me and him, we may do that 3 and 5 times a month. You know, we both do multiple transactions per month in America in our businesses. And we have 2 separate businesses, different sides of the state, but we're able to do that. And I see the same opportunity here. And once you do that multiple times, you want to own. And when you guys, you know, leave here, write down your goals. No matter how good this information I give you, how good my YouTube channel is or his YouTube channel is, you have to change your mindset. You know, write down your goals. What do you want to accomplish in 2021? That's the first thing I had to do when I was at a job, and I wanted more out of life, which was write down my goals, put that on paper, and then take action on what I want. Because unfortunately, the way Accra looks today, I doubt in 50 years it's going to look the same. It's going to be, it's heading in the direction towards a booming system. And just make sure that you guys position yourself so that you guys own a piece of Accra, and not let people from other places and people that don't look like me and you come in and take all the benefits.
First of all, thank you guys for having me here. Ghana is such a beautiful country. Accra is beautiful, beautiful people. I had fun. We went out the first 2 nights. You guys know how to party. I didn't go out after that ever since. I've been going home, going to sleep. But you know, what's cool is that, you know, Nas and I have known each other for a while now, and we do these pop-ups in the States all the time. And was with Gus, and was like, you know, I think it'd be cool if we did it here. And the reason why is after driving around and sitting in traffic, you guys got a lot of traffic too. And I'm starting to see a lot of real estate, and I start to notice that, you know, Ghana is essentially what America was a few years ago. And I start to see the trend of where it's going. And I only wish I was smart enough, well, I wasn't even old enough to get into real estate in the early ages. And that's what I see here. So, you know, Nas did come here to do some hood rat stuff. He wanted to go out every night. And we ended up doing some business stuff. So, but you know, it's cool to be here. It's cool to see so many beautiful black people here. And even though I'm successful in the States, it feels different over here. I may be a millionaire over there, but I still have to watch what I do, worried about getting pulled over. I'm still not accepted in all the places that my money can take me to. And so it just feels different to be here. And really, in my mental shift, I'm like, maybe I should be here permanently because it just feels different. And I'm sure that my other friends back in America, once I share my experience here, will start to think the same. And I'm going to encourage them to come here and visit because it's just a different feeling. Not once did I ever have to, I didn't feel different. I felt included here, and it was just a beautiful thing. But one thing that she didn't tell you was that those 12 businesses, they all failed. And so they failed tremendously, a lot of them. And I moved back home at 30 years old to my mother's house. And it wasn't pleasant. I left home at 17 to join the military, and since leaving the military, created a lot of businesses. They all failed. And one thing I learned from those failed businesses is don't be afraid of trying.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid of trying because they're afraid of failure. And not necessarily because of they actually failed failure. They're afraid of what your peers will say. What will your mom say? What will your dad say, your cousins, your friends? Like, what are you trying next? What's the next thing you're doing? And so at 30 years old, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I don't even know if the story is true, but it changed my perspective on life. It's like I need to own things. I need to do things differently. I need to start challenging everything that I have known in my past to predict a new future. And so with that, I talk a lot about mindset. And I talk about, where you are doesn't determine where you're going to end up, right? And so being a first generation American in America, it was difficult. My mom was single, she had 5 kids, and we didn't have everything we wanted to have, but I knew my mom gave me an opportunity to go out there and do better. And so I owe the success and my drive and everything to my mother. And so anybody that is successful, I don't care from where they are, they tell you that they find this one thing that they're passionate about that drives them every day, right? Because entrepreneurship is hard. You're the first one there, you're the last to leave. Yeah. You never can stop thinking. When most people leave work at 5 o'clock, I'll pick it up at 9 o'clock in the morning when I go again. And as an entrepreneur, you have to keep pushing. People are depending on you. Paychecks have to be cut on Friday. So it's tough, but I will tell you, I like this tough than rather being poor, because being poor was tough. But being rich, that's a different tough, but I like that tough. So strive to do whatever it is you want to do in life, because all of us have it. We come from such great ancestral history. Coming here was part of me finding that. And when you find out that your ancestors were kings and queens and strong black people and such spiritual people, you're destined to succeed. You just have to see it. And so one of the best things, I shared a video with Nas and Dave this morning, was one of the main things that I focused on life was networking. It's the most powerful thing. So a millionaire asked a billionaire, how did you get to be a billionaire? And he said, the number one thing I focus on is networking, right? It's what can this person do for me? When I talk to this person, a new person, hey, I'm having troubles with this, can you introduce me to somebody that can help solve this problem for me? And so really focus on networking. You may not have the money in your pocket. I didn't have the money in my pocket when I started. I had absolutely nothing. When I started real estate, I had negative $300 in my bank account. I don't even know if you're allowed to go negative over here, but in America, you can go negative, right? America's really poor when you really break it down. We ain't got nothing. We don't own anything. It's owned by the bank. We're just paying monthly payments. I'm building a new house. It has 1 kitchen in it. I should have put 2 now that I come here now, but it's over and done with. But seriously, what I see here is a land of opportunity. Now, I'm not just saying that. It's truly the beginning of something that's going to be great. And we have to encourage each other along this journey. Real estate, one thing I'm focused on, Nas and I are making decisions on what we want to do over here. We're looking at doing affordable housing in Ghana. And so we want to help build affordable housing, do mixed use. And so we really want to invest into Ghana, invest into this country. And I don't have kids yet, but I think it'd be interesting if my kids were raised here.
Yeah.
Right? And so that they have this connection to something that the kids don't have in America. But there's so much opportunity here, and I know it may be hard for you to see because you live here. But I'm telling you, as somebody that has been ups and downs, has seen failure and success, I know that there's great success to come from here. It's like brand new. It's like starting the game over, but you've already played it. And that's how I feel like when I've come here. And some of you may not have the advantage point of actually playing the game in the past, but I promise you, if you invest in yourself, and somebody said, what's the greatest investment you could ever make? And they said themselves. That is true.
That guy right there.
That is true. The greatest investment you can ever make is into yourself. And so when you make that investment into yourself, your eyes start to open and you start to see things you've never seen before. And so it's very, very important to invest into yourself and believe that you can do anything possible. It's going to take hard work. Nothing is going to come easy. But particularly in real estate in Ghana, I see so many people moving from other countries wanting to come here. And from my small island in Jamaica, I go there and I make investments and I build things. But the opportunity is not the same in Jamaica as it is in here. There's a lot of outsiders that have taken all the good opportunities. And I don't want you guys to experience that. Like Nasar said, there's a lot of money in the next 10, 15, 20 years that's going to be coming here. And you need to take a piece of that.
That's right.
And you need to dictate where you want to put them, not them dictate where they want to go. And so, you know, it's amazing. I'm happy to be here. I could talk about real estate all day, but real estate here is amazing. Number one, always network every day. I only go home to sleep. Okay? And you guys should probably do the same. If you don't have a family to go take care of, if you have people depending on you, you need to go risk it all. And that's when you do it. I'm 36, I consider myself still young, and I risk it all every day. So go out every day and risk it all, because when you hit the jackpot, it will feel great.
That's right.
And not only that, there's people depending on you to be rich. You know, not everybody has the mindset to go out there and get it. Right? So you may want to be rich for yourself, but maybe your mother needs you to be rich, your father needs you to be rich, the church down the road needs you to be rich.
Yes.
There's other people that need you to be rich. And so when you find that passion, when you find that thing that makes you wake up every single day, you know, when you got a 9 to 5, when Nas used to work at the call center, he used to hate waking up. You know, my favorite day of the week is Monday, because we get back to work. And so you need to go out there, work hard, believe in yourself, invest into yourself, and I promise you, everybody in this room can be successful. You're now standing with future millionaires and billionaires, and you don't even know.
That's right.
Take a look around the room, and you're going to see these same people on billboards, on TV. I'm telling you, it's happened. I know I was one of those people in the rooms that I shouldn't have been in, and then now people look at me. Listen, I've done all of this in 5 years. I went from a negative bank account to making over $12 million a year in the US every single year in 5 years.
Wow.
So don't overestimate what you can do in a year. Most people overestimate what you can do in a year and underestimate what you can do in 5. So go out there, give it your all, and just know that you're worth it. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys having us. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, so much information.
So you was talking about kind of getting into property, developing real estate, this kind of stuff. But I think the question I have is just how do you do it? Because often we know what we need to do, but then maybe the step-by-step process or like a way of actually feasibly getting into it is what's not as clear.
So
if you have no knowledge, assuming you're like a lay person.
Absolutely. Yeah, so both of us started real estate with no knowledge. And I think one of the most important things you could do, remember I talked about networking, right? So let's just say Gus was building hundreds of homes here in Ghana. It's important to go to Gus and ask him what you can do for him, right? Because he has the knowledge that you want, whether it's picking up a shovel every day. And as long as you get to be beside him and get to learn what he's doing, that's how you build a network. That's how you build trust. And so I've done the same thing. I remember some of my early mentors, I used to go with them at night and clean carpets because he had a large carpet cleaning business. I used to wash his cars only just to be in his presence so I could pick up his mannerisms, so I could understand. So that when he had meetings, he would invite me in the room to sit in the corner and I could just understand how he moved. And so it's important that if you can identify a person that you want to become, Do everything in your power to get next to that person, but you have to add value to that person's situation in order for them. You can't approach them and say, hey, Gus, I see you build homes. I want to learn how to build homes. You know, say, Gus, I see that you build homes, and eventually I want to do exactly what you're doing one day. But do you need your car washed? Do you need this? Can I do this for you? Is there something I can do for you? And probably 10 times he's going to tell you no. But on the 11th time, he may say yes. And that may bloom into a beautiful relationship where you can learn from somebody. Remember, it takes time. Development is a skill that people have built and learned over years, right? And the only thing that defeats that is when you have a lot of money, you can make a bunch of mistakes and still keep moving forward. And if you don't have that opportunity to have a lot of money to move forward, then you need to get with somebody, get next to somebody. And as you get next to Gus, or maybe you have $20,000, $40,000, Gus, I don't have money to really invest in your project, but I'm willing to give you all the money I have to be able to shadow you on this next development. And that's how you get into the business and you start to learn.
Thank you very much. Shadowing is key. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess this question would be for, it could be for Gus, Max, or the dojo.
Nasar.
Nasar, sorry. Are you guys thinking much about sustainability in terms of, with the building that's going on? So whether that's solar, whether that's, tempered heating, or even the building materials that you might be using to build the places. Just thinking of, in the States, I know there's a big shift towards things like solar, and so if you're thinking about coming to a new place, like, is that, in the fundamentals, is that something that you guys are thinking about?
I think for myself, I know that's going to be an issue in any country, right?
Right.
And you might as well get out in front of it. I don't know the rules and regulations here to speak enough about it. So I'm sure Gus may speak about some of the building materials that they're using and the power grid.
Hello. Okay. In terms of solar when building, it depends on the type of house you are building. Solar can be used in any building. So all depends on what you're trying to do for your property. I think solar is always good because we have a lot of heat here. The sun is good. So if you think of building your property, if you add solar, I think it's great. That's great.
Gus, though, is that something that you see as a focus with people who are coming here to build? Do you see them focus on sustainability?
Yes. The issue is a lot of solar companies, some of them want to, they want the money up front. But there are some few ones that who are willing to do a payment plan for you. Yeah, but solar is always a great stuff to go.
Awesome.
We have an issue with electricity here.
Sorry, I just want to add that. Are you looking to get into sustainability building? Is that what it is?
Oh, well, I think just looking to get into building itself, and sustainability would have to be a part of it. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I would advise you, if there's an opportunity, remember I said this land is green. And so if you don't see too many solar projects, you need to start going into that. If you see so many developments, remember it's easier to sell the picks and shovels during the gold rush than the actual gold. So if you can have solar on every single rooftop, and that could be your thing, maybe you don't need to build houses. Maybe you need to be the solar guy.
Right. I can tell you a lot of commercial space is moving into solar right now. I think Laurencia wants to add to that. If you can hand it microphone.
No, I was just agreeing with you that definitely sustainability is the way to go. And just as Max was saying, there's nothing wrong with being the trend setter, right? So being a leader in the market space in that way. And since I've been here, I have seen that a lot more homes and commercial properties are incorporating solar. So there's definitely opportunity for that. And so yeah, certainly I agree with you. And for me, that is part of my interest. And so that's something that I'll be focusing on as well. So yeah.
Because we're the ones that suffer the most from those things that happen. It's the poor or underdeveloped that are the ones that suffer the most. So if we can start out like that.
Absolutely, and that's what we should do, and that should be prioritized,
Yeah,
right? We have
absolutely.
the sun. I mean, why not leverage that, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a question?
Hello, so my name is Ino, and I'm an Android developer. Looking forward to getting to run the state sometime in the future, maybe now. So usually, if I'm sitting behind my desk and I'm programming, I used to listen to Maxwell's podcast. And so I'm a big fan. So it's more like I'm seeing my celebrity.
Wow.
You're famous.
So I follow him on YouTube, and through him I got to know a lot of other guys, Brian, Ben Malad all the time. You guys had a link up that was big. So thank you very much for coming too. I never knew you will ever even come to Ghana. So, and then funny story, when he came to Ghana, he linked up with Gus. And I knew you guys was into luxury buildings, so I was like, oh, there's no way we are gonna get like a piece of Maxwell. We are going with the rich guys, you know. So when I heard it was gonna be like a free meetup, I was like, man, I gotta be here. So thank you very much. The question I wanted to ask is for affordable housing. You made mention of it. When I came, I met you people on the table. We're talking about what do they think the problem is in luxury buildings here, because everybody's into luxury buildings. And we all said, oh, there is a affordable housing issue. How do you've been here just in a couple of days, you've been able to say affordable housing is something you want to get to? Is it something that you saw as a problem when you came? Have you heard about it? And how do you intend to get into it?
You know, affordable housing is an issue across the entire globe. And so I study it well, and Nasar and I were working on some projects in Atlanta with affordable housing. And so affordable housing is a niche I want to go into, but the problem with affordable housing is not that profitable. And so you have to use government subsidies, or you have to do some type of land/ownership in order to make it work. But there's programs out there, and what happens in most developers, yes, they do go for luxury real estate because it is the most easy, the product is the same, and you can sell it. But there's also a need, there will become a crisis, and if you can always remember, I'm always looking for opportunity. So yes, I will make money making affordable housing. We'll figure out how to make that work. But yes, it's gonna be a crisis, and then there's gonna be a problem where there's nothing but a luxury homes, so where does everybody else live? And right, so we want to create those places where everybody can live, and they're proud, not only live there, but be proud of that the ownership that they actually have. And so I want to be able to put some of the same finishes that you have in luxury properties into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that is affordable. And so once I find out the prices and what things cost, then you start to line itemize what can you actually invest into a single property so that you can still sell it and make money. Remember, none of us, if the way that affordable housing is, it could only be afforded by nonprofit organizations and donations, and that's not a good business model. So you have to be able to mix the two. You have to put you have to use mixed use, where you can subsidize some of the costs in building with long-term rents or commercial use, or have affordable housing with some mid-level housing in there. So there's different things that we've done in the States that I know can work over here. But the housing crisis, it's crazy in the States right now. If you've been following anything, housing prices have went up an average of 26% in the last 12 months. And so that's hard. I mean, and so you're gonna see the same thing here, and you don't wanna repeat. If you've already played the game, and you've been to level 4, and you know that the guy comes out and punches you in the back of your neck, and you're gonna play the same game again, you should be watching behind you on level 4. And the level 4, the guy's punching you in the back of the head is affordable housing. So we wanna attack that because we've seen it already, and we're witnessing it right now.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, those of you who took the training class Cami and I did last month, let me see where you are. I'm sure you have some questions. Okay, let's get some questions from some of you who took the training class and asked us 1,000 questions. Here's your opportunity to ask more questions. Please lift up your hands. We got about 5 more minutes of questions.
I have a contribution. I have a question as well. Okay, so all I'm hearing is housing. So I want to introduce to everyone here that it's not all about housing. Real estate is basically not all about housing.
Right.
My family is into real estate as well. We do housing, but for about 3 years ago, we decided to go into something like agricultural estate. Yeah, maybe most of you, it's your first time of hearing that. So we realized for the past our new government is very interested in agriculture. So we decided to go into something more like a farming estate. So what we do is we have the lands, and then our business plan is that we would have houses within the farmlands where investors will be living and will be looking at their farms day in and day out whilst they grow their crop till it grows, and then we process it right there. Because as part of the master plan, we want to have processing factories as well. So we are part of the 1D1F initiation, the 1 district, 1 factory, then the Government of Ghana introduced. And so I want to put it out here to everybody that it's not all about housing. So what we're doing is when you come on board, or you bring anyone on board, it's commission based. We are not solely dealing with marketers. So I'm putting it to Max that since you are into real estate, since you are a realtor, we also have a farming estate and advise you come on board and bring us more investors. Yeah, so we're not just restricting it to Ghanaians or Africans. We do have investors from United States. We have people from London, Qatar, and other places as well. So yes, agricultural estate. And the handle is Shematin Agro, so you can check it up on all social media handles. And then my question is, you didn't talk about mortgage. I didn't hear you talk about mortgage. Because our mortgage system in Ghana here, we do have funny stories. For instance, my family business, I'm sure, you know, when we sold the houses, we've been in it for 10 years now. My grandfather started it, and it looks like there are people who didn't really get the time to read the terms and conditions. So then, let's say they buy the house and then they have to be making the payments in like 15 years. And then definitely, you know, dollar appreciates. But there are people who don't take time to read it. So when you go back and you want to take your money, it's like they want to pay whatever amount you gave to them when they started the mortgage. So once they are done paying, they don't want to pay no more, and it becomes war. So I think we have to, here in Ghana, look at how the mortgage works very well and let the people understand it, that the amount that you start with is not the amount you complete with. Thank you.
So thank you for introducing me to farming communities, and when I come back, probably in the next 30 days, I would love to go out and just see what it is.
Sure.
Now, I'm not a mortgage expert at all, but it is going to be part of fixing the affordable housing crisis, right? Because not everybody has the money to just go put down cash. So I don't know the rules and regulations here, but I did hear some of the rates, which I think is outrageous. But you know, that's something that has to be addressed, and I know there's a different rate for US dollars and CDs, different types of things like that. So I think remember, you got to understand it's still all young. I think the mortgage system is less than 15 years old,
yes,
right? So we've been doing this for hundreds of years in America, so loaning and mortgages we perfected the craft, or at least what I think it is. But I don't know, you know, the mortgage system and the loan system in America could be good if you leverage it correctly. But we've also seen the other side of the mortgage, which created the 2008 housing crash in America, where basically everything was free. Houses you could pick up for pennies on the dollar. So there's a good and bad side of it. So I think as long as people are educated and read everything in it, I think that it can become a good product. It's definitely on the way. It has to. That's the only way that a country is able to grow. There's no country that really can do an all-cash society when it comes to purchasing any type of real estate. So the mortgage system is going to develop at the same speed probably as the real estate people come here. They're going to get pushed and pressured into it. So it will come.
Let me just add to that about mortgages here. They actually have mortgage clinics that they do at First National Bank. They do it every Saturday. They have a few hours. You actually come in, you ask all the questions you need to ask. The thing about it, it's so new, and people a lot of times are very resistant to change. And in this environment, because it's cash-based, a lot of people hesitate when it comes to lending or receiving any type of financing, right? But they do have mortgage clinics, so I encourage you to go in there one Saturday and get educated on mortgages. Any other questions? Yes, we have 2 questions over here, Jude, just here in the corner. Thank you. Right there in the corner. Lift up your hand so he can see you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jemima. This person goes to Mr. Augustine. Whilst he was speaking, he made mention of the price of houses in Ghana. It's not the first time I've come across as a broker. Most of the times we come across clients who are based outside, and they are amazed at the rate at which our houses are. I want to find out what could be the factor. Is it the building materials we use here, or the land? I don't know, because I'm trying to understand why. It's not the first time I've heard this, like I said. I've had clients based outside ask that question several times. So I want to find out what could be the factor. Is it the building materials that we use here?
Thank you. Prices on houses here, I will admit that. But this is something that has been happening before, a long time ago. it all started during this money laundering stuff. A lot of people used to launder money in the country by purchasing homes and all that. So there's no regulations in that. What we are trying to do right now, before we price a house, we want to understand why property owners are right at certain figures. So what we do, we get a valuer, independent valuer, to come and give us a value on the property. Then we can advise, because in Ghana here, anybody stands up and says, hey, my house is, I want 1 million. Based on nothing. Yeah. That's how they feel. But it's all because of, and one, you should understand that everything is important here. Yeah. So you should understand that certain places you go to cantonment, I mean those properties alone is 500,000 and above. So you should understand that those are stuff that we can't change. But as realtors, we want to make sure everybody is happy. So we bring an independent valuer to give us a value that we can talk about it. So that's the situation.
All right, so the question you asked is, why do people from outside like these houses so much, and what's the determining factor of why they like these houses? Is that correct?
No.
Why do they have issues with the prices here?
The price is too high.
They complain that the price of houses are higher here compared to America and London and other places.
All right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of factors, right? And unfortunately, I'm gonna speak on the American side, right? So there's stereotypes. People think that everything should be cheaper here, when the craftsmanship is here is incredibly gorgeous and beautiful. I think it's more of something like they have a misconception of Africa. They have a misconception of Ghana. They have a misconception of Accra. They just think that this stuff should be cheap. I don't think this stuff is necessarily expensive. We were talking about that because Gus, he showed us a house that was $1.5 million here. The finishes of a $1.5 million house in Charlotte, North Carolina, I would not have those finishes. It'd be a cheaper product. So I think that's more of a misconception. There's something wrong with the person because they don't see Africa as this beautiful continent. And they see it in one line, or one lens, which is it should be cheap. So I think that just have to educate, like, hey, look, these are beautiful houses, these are the finishes. If you think this is expensive, at this price point in your country, what do you get? And you'll see for yourself, like, this sucks pretty bad, you know? So you'll see that for yourself. So that's why I think it's more of a mental thing. And do some people overprice their houses? Absolutely. But I don't think that's the overall case. It's just that some individuals just stereotype Africa in general. I just wanted to add my 2 cents to it.
So use that as an opportunity to educate yourself maybe more on wherever your clients or your prospective clients are located on those regions, and utilize that as an opportunity to educate them on why it is that it's worth the value that that we ask for in this market. Because some of them are just oblivious to it. I know Nas was completely oblivious until he came and he saw, and so I think it's an opportunity for you. Thank you.
Thank you, and surprisingly, we have Prince here, who is our solar man. You had a question on solar. He has a solar company. Can you please just touch on how solar is improving in Ghana? If so, are people requesting it more for their housing products? Please step up to the camera.
Okay, so there's solar systems in Ghana, and I think that if you look at what we call the axiom of the amount of sunlight we have in this country, everybody should be having solar. The problem we have with residential solar is because we don't have the net metering, which the developed countries have. So what it means is that if you have solar system during the day, you can only power a few things in your house, and you cannot keep it in the grid to be able to use it in the evening. The net metering bylaw has actually been passed, so Energy Commission is working seriously to be able to get it rolled out, so that at the end of the day, people will really have the full benefit. However, if you have an office like mine, which is fully powered by solar, you would enjoy the benefit from day one when the installation is done. So assuming somebody pays something around 2,000 cedis a month for their electricity bill, I'm probably paying something around 400 Ghana cedis because I'm benefiting straight away. I mean, we have some of our ACs on the solar, so we don't have any power interruption. There's no genset in my office. It's all powered by solar, and we have a few batteries that actually gives us some backup. So everybody needs to actually look at solar because this is a place where you have enough sunshine. This is a place where you have, in fact, our position as far as the sun radius and everything is concerned, orientation, however you put it, you have full benefit from the sun. So yeah, whatever your question was, this is the place to do solar. And in fact, we are looking for more partners to be able to do for a lot of residential units as well as commercial units. So if anybody is interested, definitely we could talk. All right, cheers.
Thank you so much, thank you. All right, let's take 2 more questions and then we'll get final words from all our speakers and then we'll have the opportunity to meet them and take pictures as well. 2 more questions? Okay, there's a question over there. Jude, if you could take the microphone. Okay, thank you.
Is there an ideal way, or should I say, a particular process you have to go through to be a luxury realtor in Ghana?
Well, to be a luxury realtor, I think that in Ghana here, basically to be a luxury is a niche. So you can't be a luxury realtor and you show certain homes. I see certain homes like, I mean, you guys understand. Yeah. Well, I'll give you some few tips. You can't show home. Like someone like, we'll go and we take pictures. Example, you take a picture and you see the house taker, the caretaker, with no wearing no shirts on, you know? Yeah. You take that picture, you send it to a client. No, it's not done like that. You understand? You take that picture, I don't know how to take picture because that's that's the first thing people see before they can even interact with you and your dressing. When you're taking a picture, make sure there are no objects on the place in the picture. Make sure you take clear pictures. You understand? And I believe that what I've realized is video also catches a lot of people's eye. You know, so you can do few videos again, don't put no objects on it. Being a luxury realtor, you have to appear nice. You have to learn more about luxury. You know, luxury is anything. It doesn't have to be any expensive stuff. Some people, luxury is their shoes. You know, it can be anything. Whatever you feel you're very comfortable with. You know, so to be a luxury realtor, you just have to be yourself and make sure you're unique and all that stuff.
So please, how do you find luxury wholesalers, like owners?
Okay. I find it through network and referral. You understand? Luxury buyers are not on the Instagram. They are not on the social media. They don't have time for that. But to be true referral, somebody will refer them and stuff. But you have to be going out to decent places. You know, if you go to church, you meet people, let people know that that's what you are into. You know, someone will call you and say, I have a house in Accra, 3-bedroom. Tell me, oh, say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. You know, let them know what you are into. Such, they will know who to go to when they need those kind of services.
And let me add to that. Right now, there is no real estate licensing in Ghana.
So I'm going to add on to what I said. You see, right now in Ghana, we don't have the agent license right now. So we have anybody sells house, rent house. Someone will go to a house and it's okay. BURTON, finance. I mean, we're trying to help our family, so no doubt. But you should create a niche. When I say create a niche, is if you are in Kaswa, make sure that people in Kaswa know that you are the agent over there, you know. And make sure that if you go and their house is not that clean, you can add value to them. You tell the property owner, then he say, then quickly, right, then he say, then people shall say, perfect, what does it? So those are little stuff that we have to also do that to stand up for. All right.
So about a year or two ago, I actually wanted to move to USA because of real estate. Yeah, and I mean, he's always showcasing his cars and so on and stuff. But fast forward, I also met this other friend of mine who's also in real estate in Ghana, and he's also doing well. Actually, he's now into development as well, that's construction and all that. So for the sake of location, I won't ask how my friend did it in USA, but I'm more interested in maybe what you, Max and Nasir, think about certain opportunities that you have realized in Ghana that perhaps we are not looking at. Because I'm sure you did some little reading before you came, so have you noticed certain things that perhaps maybe some market trends or perhaps the direction that we can capitalize on and stuff like that? Perhaps something that is in US but it's not really here in.
Excellent question.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So let me start off by saying that people in America do a great job at looking rich. They ain't rich. If you look at statistics, there's only 1% of America that makes more than $400,000 a year. That's by the IRS tax code. So we do a great job at looking rich. Remember, we have luxury car rentals. You can go out and buy a car with a 580 credit score that you can't afford the monthly payments. You start paying for a Porsche and you got $3,000 monthly payment. They live in apartments that they don't own and high rises that they in there for a month and the next month they get evicted. Remember, they don't have to pay 3 months, a year in advance. So America does a great job at looking rich. If you read the statistics, we're poor. And to back up what Gus said, you really need to find a niche, right? So real estate is all over the place. And she talked about farming. I got rich in one small part in real estate called wholesaling, right? Essentially, I went around and found the houses that looked like crap or people that didn't want the houses, and I said, I will buy this house from you at this price cash in 30 days. And because I love to network, I would go out and find the guy that actually has the money, and I'll tell him, hey, look, I told this lady I'd buy her house for $30,000. I'll sell it to you for 40. Give me 10,000. Give that lady 30, and keep going. And he's like, great, I'll buy it for 40 total because I can go in there and renovate it, and I'll sell it for 120. And I did that so much. So my first year, I made like $800,000. And I was living in my mom's house, so I didn't spend any of it. And so now I have 19 employees. We do well over 7 figures every single year. And so we do this at a mass scale. Now real estate's this big. You can do everything from, building high rises to making container homes. Find your niche, get very good at it and become the expert in that, right? So if I come to you and talk about farming homes, you need to tell me every single stat that there is to know. You need to tell me the areas that is great. You want to tell me the pH level of the soil. Everything, you need to be the expert. So when somebody from the outside comes in, you're the person to come to. What Gus did, Gus became the expert in luxury real estate, and he's good at networking. Did you come from riches? No. So the idea is become niche. He said, you know what, I'm going to go after this real estate luxury market. And he went after it. He probably started showing up to development projects. And then after a while, he became the guy. And he started branding himself as the expert, but then he could back it up with the real things that he actually knew. So find a niche and become good at it. Take some time. Become an expert at the topic. I can talk about wholesaling for 2 years straight. All I need is water so I don't die. But I'm an expert at that topic. Become an expert at a topic, and you can't fail. I'm pretty sure the gentleman that was here with the solar, I'm pretty sure he's an expert at solar. He can answer any question you throw at him. Therefore, he's going to get most of the solar business. And so you become niche. It's so big, and I know you can look at everything and say, I want to do everything. But get real small. Money's in niches.
I'm pretty much going to say the same thing, which is focus, follow one course until successful. Are there opportunities? There are multiple opportunities. I pretty much took off in my real estate career the same way as he did with the wholesaling of the houses. Basically finding these ugly, beat up, tore up houses, eyesores of the neighborhood, contacting the owner, saying, hey, look, are you looking to sell? Now, let's say you network and you know someone who has some money. Or you can go to a real estate agent, per se, or real estate salesperson and say, hey, do you have any clients that are open to construction, or open to renovating the house? Well, yeah, I do. Well, those clients probably have cash. So let's say you got that house for $80,000. You say, well, look, I'll sell this house to you for $100,000. You know, and that's what we basically.
You never own it.
And you never own it. You just selling him the piece of paper, and at the closing table, you'll pick up a check for $20,000. This is what we did in America. We did it over and over and over and over until we were able to buy houses and keep houses. So I think you need to look. That's one way you need to look at, and one thing you need to look at development, look at construction. Most importantly, affordable houses. Everyone wants to do the pretty things. No one wants to do the ugly things. So, for example, are you familiar with Walmart? Y'all familiar with Walmart?
Yep.
Okay. Walmart is so successful, they go after middle America. They don't go after the high end. All right? But if you look on social media, you'll think that all Americans, they want to go to Louis Vuitton, to the Gucci store, and things of that. And Walmart is making the most money. Because why? They're going after the middle. All right? They say, hey, you can have the upper class, we can go after there. This is our niche, okay? And they just have their niche, and what you have to do is just identify something in real estate. Because real estate is vast, so I strongly recommend you studying like different niches and see what you can implement here. Do we see opportunities? Absolutely, we see a bunch of them. But there's so many, we don't want to just put that out and have everybody chasing 2 rabbits, because when you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none. So just focus on, one. I strongly recommend you driving. You know these neighborhoods better than me and him do. So drive around and see if you can find the owner to some of these beat up houses that need work and are just sitting vacant. And again, if you make sure you follow him on Instagram, because he's working on implementing a system where hopefully you guys can do that and find the owners easily.
Thank you. And another thing he touched on, what you could do here is actually, that he talked about getting properties, never owning it and selling it. You could buy properties off plan here and then sell it at the, when it's completed at the market rate. All right, anybody else, any questions? All right.
This for my friends down here in Ghana. Do we have data or any research that a real estate investor can use to determine the cost of real estate per square meter in a specific area? Like, I want to be able to come to East Legon and say, okay, East Legon, we are looking at maybe $700 per square meter. I think that can be able to bring a set of regulation to the system. The question my sister here asked about why is real estate so expensive? And I think that's what America has capitalized on, research and data. And because of that, there can be regulations in which one cannot just get up and say, okay, my house was $2 million. If it's not even that, based upon the research and data based upon that neighborhood. Do we have any such?
Yes, we do. Most of the properties that we sell or rent by square meters are the commercial properties. And most of them are in the airport area. Those are the most industrial area. Most of the houses are more residential, East Legon and everything. So we don't have something set up for that. It's only airport city. If you go to Atlantic City, those areas, I think it's going for $35 per square meter, then $3 service charge. So those areas you get it. But when you come to East Legon, other places, they're all residential. So that is not set up before. Now that they are now bringing this stuff up, I see despite them doing some few stuff, very few of them, and they even not even charging. I'm not very sure. I've not rented down of it before. But a house like this is being used. Listen, residential is used for office, and they are renting for $3,000. You understand? So it's not set up. So maybe I think in the future, since now we have the Real Estate Act and everything, I think we might look at this kind of stuff.
I really don't have much to say. I just appreciate you guys allowing me to be here, and you're going to be seeing more of me in Ghana. So hopefully we can all eventually get to meet, make some money together, and build Ghana up as one.
Give him a round of applause. All right, Mr. Nasar, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts, I just wanted to say it was my idea to go to Ghana.
He's telling the truth.
Give him a round of applause for that.
You want to do hood rat things though.
Yeah, I just wanted to come here to act up and do hood rat things, and he wanted to come here, and he do business, but it was my idea Yeah, so I should get all the credit. So anyway, final thoughts is, just take action. If you ask questions, there's no dumb questions. When I was new, I asked a lot of questions, and people told me that was one of the reasons why I became so successful, other people didn't, because we can all get the same information, but not everyone will become successful. The reason why is because some people just won't take action. So identify a niche and be sure to take action. All right, that's it for me.
Thank you so much. Ms. Laurentia, your final thoughts?
Oh, I don't have much to add. I just want to let everyone know that I do see a lot of potential here, and I see a lot of potential in this country, but more importantly, I see a lot of potential here in the audience. It's really good to have everyone here, and I'm looking forward to networking and working with you all in the future. Okay?
Thank you so much, and that's your final words. Final words for tonight.
I just want to thank everyone. Hello? Hello? I just want to thank everybody for coming here. Actually, it was 2 days notice that you guys turned up. I really appreciate that. I realize there's power in social media. Whatever you guys are into, make sure you utilize that. Listen to your client. Make sure that you write stuff down when you're talking to them. Build a relationship. I think when somebody wants to deal with you, they want to have the confidence, the trust in you. That's the first thing. Let's build a relationship, customer service. Let's check on our clients, our friends, I think that's the best thing we have to do. And again, find your niche. Again, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Brother. Hey, this is our second time meeting.
Yeah?
I met you in Boston with the Polite. I met you in Boston, Mass with the Polites.
Oh, that's right. That's what you doing out here.
I moved there.
When?
I've been there like 6
Because that was like 3 years ago now. 2.5 years.
Yeah, it was a while.
Because COVID, everybody forget about COVID,
exactly.
so that's a deleted year.
After COVID, I was just like, I had an epiphany. I was like, you know what? Because I wanted to go to Africa.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go now.
So what's your thought process since you've been over here and been over here? You see what I'm seeing?
Man, listen, the reason I came here just because, I know you two guys are official.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they here, they up to something. Whatever they up to, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I was talking to these gentlemen earlier, and I was like, one of the biggest things that's being neglected here is the low income or the affordable
That's the first thing I
housing.
picked up on.
Yeah, it's like everybody wants to build a luxury.
Yeah, because it makes them feel good.
Right.
So no, I'm working with some things like the teacher union needs houses and stuff like that. So I'm moving. I've been here 6 days, so I'm moving fast to try to get some stuff, and then I'm gonna come back.
Right. That's why I said I was like, if you guys come here, you guys will be able to afford to put together a team that can really do this, because it's like you can't do this by yourself.
Yeah. So
overwhelming.
And you got to break the barriers of politics here, and you got to get in the right circle. And they got to see that you mean business and you want to do the right thing.
Right.
So it's going to take time, but I'm dedicated.
No, I know you. I've been following you. You know, you already know. So,
It's good to see you again, though, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I was like, I got to go here. So yeah, I'm excited that you guys are here.
You'll be seeing more of us.
Right.
Yeah. You'll be seeing more of us.
So I definitely want to get on board with whatever you guys got going on. I know it's going to be something.
We're going to try to do something big.
Right, definitely. Yeah, man, I was telling you, these guys, how official you are, man.
Yeah, I follow you.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
I sent you DMs on IG, commented on your pictures, and you told me you communicate the time and place I should reach you.
Yeah. That was you? Okay, cool. That was yesterday, right? 2 days ago. 2 days ago, that's right, 2 days ago. I'm glad you came out, man.
Yeah, I follow you on IG.
Thank you, brother. You got it. You can stick with this dude because he's seen both sides. And he's been able to. He knows where it's going.